Welcome back to another episode on the See Through It podcast. I am your host, Brian Sales. How are you guys doing tonight? Today, we are discussing me. We're discussing why I decided to start a podcast, why I picked the name or the title that I chose, and where I would like this podcast to go. And why you should listen to it. But before we get into all of that, let's go ahead and cover some of the contact information and how to follow me and to make sure you like and share and join the conversation. So as you see in the corner right there, See Through It 1. You can follow me on Twitter, YouTube. Again, once I hit 100 subscribers, I will be able to create a URL and put a URL up on this video. So you can see it and go there and subscribe or have your friends subscribe to the channel. Also, you can follow me at Facebook. Let me go ahead and put that up. Facebook.com/ST podcast. And then there's the email if you need to get in contact. If you're interested in purchasing any merchandise that I have, doing some headbands. Matter of fact, I have a headband. One moment. Headband that I did today for my Warrior collection. As you see there, just a little something there. Conquer the mind, the body will follow. Something I did today. But yeah, if you want to get in touch with me about any of the merchandise that I have, please contact me there at the email account. Yeah, so far that's been taking off. We're building momentum there, and again, I appreciate everyone who's been inquiring about merchandise and people who've already purchased and have already received their stuff. Thank you again. I am greatly appreciative, and I don't even know any other words to throw on the back of that, but I am so humbled and grateful for your support. And yeah, so I'm excited about where things are going and how we are growing. I know when I started this podcast, I was like, I wanted it to grow fast, or I was expecting a big following or whatever. And that definitely was not the case. So it's been a slow grind and a lot of days where I felt like, why am I even doing this? Should I even be doing it? I had a lot of days like that, but every now and then when I end up putting out an episode or meeting different people would give me words of encouragement to tell me to keep going. They like what I'm doing, and that's helped a lot. And I greatly appreciate all of those people that have came into my life or stopped by to say whatever. I greatly appreciate those words. Because sometimes it gets foggy. Sometimes it gets foggy, and you're just like, I don't know if I should be doing this. Should I take it another way? Should I be doing what everyone else is doing to get the views or to get the notoriety? But I don't want none of that. I just want I want my whatever I'm doing. If I'm talking sports or if I'm doing the community base or just awareness on things, I want the message to be heard. I want it to, if one person hear it, I want to be able to help that one person. I want them to be able to say, I heard what you said and it resonated with me, and I was able to change whatever I was doing. Or I found out about autism, like I did an episode on autism before, and that really opened my eyes on what other people are dealing with autism or whatever the case may be. I want this show to do that. So again, greatly appreciate all the support that we've been gathering, and we still have a long road ahead of us, but I'm happy about the momentum that we're building. So again, if you want to get in contact with me about any of the merchandise, hoodies, coffee mugs, headbands, or t-shirts, we're working on some t-shirts, working on some big tall glass mugs, working on a lot of stuff. So stay tuned. Make sure you share, like the Facebook page, run those numbers up. If you're on Twitter, follow me on Twitter. On Twitter, I talk about a lot of sports, so and different. I might mention some things about politics, but anything, some stuff like that. But yeah, follow me there. So without any more delay, let's go ahead and talk about this. My introduction to why I started this podcast and chose the name, or try to give you some little insight on who I am. So maybe you'll be like, you know what, I can follow this podcast. Let's see what this guy is talking about. So I said last week I wanted to do this to maybe it'll help some people be able to view me or understand why I feel the way I feel about certain things, or why I came up with the podcast. So the name of the podcast, as you see it there, the See Through It podcast. As you see the guy looking through his spyglass, he's doing that for a reason. I felt like too many times we're watching news, or we're dealing with certain people or whatever, and we're hearing things, or things are being told to us to make us respond emotionally or erratically. And we don't take the time to gather all the information and actually see what's being said or what's actually going on. So I came up with the See Through It, hashtag See Through It, because I wanted people to start seeing what was actually going on. Too many times the news would drop a picture, and the first things you'll hear, black male, white cop. And from right there, you're hooked on just those two little words, that little statement, black male, white cop. No one goes into gathering any more information about what happened in that situation. Why did this situation take place? Oh, we're stuck on black male, white cop. So basically, I wanted to create a platform where I'm giving you my opinion, but it's objective. It's not subjective. It's not trying to pull you in one way. It's straight down the line, straight in the middle. In the middle. It's not leaning left. It's not leaning right. Straight. I feel like we don't have that in media anymore. Even in regular conversations, you can't have a conversation with anyone without them trying to force you to see their side or make you understand what they're dealing with or whatever. And I feel like that's dangerous. I feel like that's very dangerous, because you're forcing someone to listen to you, or you're trying to force someone to believe or agree with what you're saying. And that just brings rage to all sides. And I think we need to actually be talking, having a conversation about things, instead of being forced to agree with one another. Or it's okay to not to agree. It's okay. It's okay not to see eye to eye. But the thing we should be doing is listening. If we can just listen and walk away, be like, okay, well, I hear what you're saying. You heard what I said. Well, it's good to go. We're good to go. Instead of all the yelling or being swayed to be emotional and react erratically because of something we heard. I don't like that type of media. I don't like that type of conversation. I don't like those type of games. So the podcast is strictly down the middle, objective, just built off my morals and values of how I was raised. What's up, Christian? Yeah, so like that's the whole basis of this podcast. Not to make you believe one thing, not to make you swing to one side or whatever. My whole point of this whole podcast is to give you my opinion based off how I was raised and my morals and values and how I see things, and let you decide from there. So like, actually a couple episodes back in season 1 or early season 2. No, it was season 1. There was a shooting in South Bend, and a black guy was killed by a white cop, and everyone was outraged. but no one took the time to find out what was actually happening. Like that day one when he was shot and killed, everyone was outraged. I mean, fast forward now, you can see why, but like if you read the comments that was going on as soon as that report dropped, it was just madness. No one was listening. No one was just everyone was just outraged and just going against each other. The media is here to divide us. The media is here to divide us. We need more people listening. Listening. We just need more people listening and understanding what the media is trying to do. So you don't have to worry about here. You don't have to worry about that here, because I'm not going to be trying to divide the listeners or divide or make you feel a certain way towards another group of people or anything like that. It's all objective. I'm going to point out some facts on some things or say some opinions about some stuff, and then I'm going to let you decide. You're going to decide how you feel about what I said. I'm not going to yell or scream or none of that. I'm going to just tell you how I view it and let you go about your day. But anyway, I was born in Alabama. This should be fun. I was born in Alabama to my mom and dad, brother and sister. So there's three of us. Early 90s going to school in Alabama was very different. It was it was different from. I moved up here to Indiana in like, when was that? 2000 or 99, somewhere around there. But I moved up here and in 99, it was very different. Like the whole atmosphere from being in Alabama and Indiana is just very different. The respect, and like when we moved up here and I met my first teacher, I was like, yes, ma'am, no, sir, and all that. And the students like, what is he saying? What is he speaking? What is going on over there? And the teacher she was taken back by it, and it was like, that's just how we were raised. Like that's a normal thing in the South. Up here it was very different, and now I'm kind of used to it. It's two different worlds. The South and the North is very different. But grew up in Alabama. We didn't have very much growing up. When we was younger, we didn't have very much. Mom and daddy worked very hard. My mom was going to school. I think she had like 2 jobs, I believe, and she was going to school. My dad was working. He was going a lot. It was very hard on us for school. It was different. Alabama, growing up in the South in Alabama was tough. It was I don't even know if these kids would make it today back in that time, because people were evil. People said some stuff. Some grown-ups would look at you and maybe say some stuff. It was different. It was a different time. And I'm not saying Alabama is like that now. Don't get me wrong. I haven't been to Alabama in so long, but when we was growing up, it was tough being in Alabama. I still love the state. The weather, the people. But you have some of those people that are just ignorant, and that's just the way it is. I mean, that's life. You come across those people every now and then, and that's how it was. But anyway, growing up in Alabama was tough. We didn't have very much. We was bouncing back from different family members' houses. We did a lot of bouncing around. We didn't like I said, we was almost borderline poor. I used to joke and say we was like OR. Like we were so poor that we was just OR. OOR, just we couldn't even afford the P. But our family stayed together. I remember our family stayed together. I think that was 2 or 3 years, maybe a year. I don't even know if it was that long, but we stayed with our auntie in Louisiana for a little bit while our mom and dad was working in Alabama, trying to get us a place to stay and trying to provide some stability for us. But after that, our family never split up. We stayed together. We struggled together, and all that stuff that we went through as I got older, I think it played a factor in me today. I feel like I'm more resilient. I work hard for whatever I want or I need. I don't try to depend on other people. I'm a little bit more of a, I guess I would say like a loner. I guess I would say I'm more of like a loner because I saw my mom and dad working. I saw my mom and dad grinding for everything that we had. Like they was working, and my time in school, I would say from first grade to about fourth or fifth, I would say I was pretty straight. I was what first, second and third grade I had like AP honor roll, A honor roll. I think fourth grade is when you get the boys start getting a little bit older, start feeling themselves. Fifth grade, I actually failed fifth grade because I was lazy. I didn't want to do the schoolwork no more. I was over school. I didn't. In fifth grade, I didn't want to do school anymore. And I had plenty of more years left ahead of me for that. But yeah, I failed fifth grade. That was eye opening because all my friends left. The kids that I was clowning with ended up finishing fifth grade and moving on to the next grade, and I was behind. So who was the real clown? That was crazy. Fifth grade, failed fifth grade. The following year, I did better. Got into sixth grade. I think sixth grade. Let me see. I was sixth, seventh grade. My sister was in school with me. It was different when I had my sister there. But yeah, there was a certain time where someone had called her an N-word, and the whole school, like that was almost like a riot. My cousin was also at that school at that time, and it got pretty crazy on that day. Like it was like a mob of people looking for one guy because he opened his mouth and said something crazy. But I don't think anything happened on that day. It was just a lot of kids running the halls acting crazy. We moved to Indiana in '99. Went to a school called Dickinson Middle School. And I moved up here and it was just different. Everything was different. The environment, the people, the weather. We had a snowstorm in Alabama, I believe, in '93. It was a blizzard that we had in '93. That was pretty major. I mean, that shut the whole city down. There was nothing open for like at least 3 or 4 days. My dad had to walk down the hill. I don't know where he was going or what, but he walked down the hill in Alabaster to go somewhere. But yeah, it was tons of snow. And then we came up here in '99. They had a blizzard, and we drove through southern Indiana all the way to northern Indiana, and it was horrible. We got stuck in Indy, resting. Right now, I'm just giving you a little timeline of how did I get here and how we are sitting here at the podcast. But we got stuck in Carmel, Indiana. We didn't know, my dad didn't know that if you turned off a diesel truck in negative 30-degree weather, that the fuel was going to freeze or whatever. I think it was a fuel or whatever it was. It froze over, and we waited for 8 hours for a trucking service to come and light a fire to get it from being jailed because it jailed up. That was the worst day ever. We went in a hotel, guys. We were sitting inside of a truck the whole time. My mom was sitting in one truck because I think we had a white truck at that time. We had a truck, and then we had a Ryder truck or whatever moving truck it was. But we was all crammed in there for 8 hours. It was the worst. I mean, the worst. My parents were agitated, so anytime we did something that was like minor, was like blown up to like 1 million because he was so agitated. If you was breathing wrong, it was a bad day. That was a bad day. That was definitely frustrated from being stuck for 8 hours and not being able to move to our location. But we finally got to South Bend and um, made it on home, and I finished up middle school, went to high school, went to John Adams High School, and dropped out of high school. I had a daughter at a young age, and then I dropped out of high school. Then I went back to high school later on and finished up my degree, and then um, let me see, what else did I do? I did I was working little jobs here and there. Um, I had another son. I had a son, and then I went into the Navy, got married, had a son, got out of the Navy, worked at some job, went to school for criminal justice, and then I got out of that, um, got into auto the auto world, trying to work on cars, and I was doing like a lot of back and forth because I didn't know what I wanted to do. I loved being in the military, but I got out of the military because ex-wife wanted me to get out. Got out of that um, when I was working all these little jobs, and all these little jobs were not fulfilling, especially coming out of the service, like seeing how people about the dumbest things and how people could come to work late and there would be no accountability for nothing and all the nonsense that was going on. It was just like, wow. It's like, this is outrageous. So I was craving to be back in the military. I was craving to sign up for the military. But I kept working jobs, and then, 2016, I joined the Army. Not 2016, was that 2018? Joined the Army, got injured, they retired me, and now I'm here. I'm doing the podcast. That was like a little quick, little quick drawing of my life, of my timeline. But yeah, the one thing I remember about my childhood was that we didn't have very much. We didn't have very much, but our family stayed together. Although we didn't have very much, and my mom and dad was working constantly, they was parenting us. It was giving us all the tools, and I mean, you've heard me say it before. It's the job, it's the parent's job to provide the tools for that child to become successful and to be a good citizen in this life. And I definitely would say my mom and dad did that. They worked their butts off. Never saw them make an excuse for anything. We never went home. I mean, we never went to bed hungry except for one night. I think Papa John's messed up one of our order for pizza or something like that, and we went to bed. I think we went to bed hungry that night. My dad was mad. They didn't even cook the pizza all the way through, and it was super late. But I think they was closing too, so we didn't have anything else. But other than that, I mean, we didn't have very much, but we stayed together, and we made it. Like, we made it out of most situations where family would fall apart, where dads would either book it or commit a crime and end up being in jail, or moms would just run away saying they don't want to do with this or whatever. Excuse me. We made it. We stayed together, and prayer and church. We was in church a lot. So definitely believe in God, because he made a way for us, and he kept us in His grace and in mercy. And I don't know. It was to sit here and actually think about everything that we had to overcome as a family is just amazing. A blessing, not amazing, but a blessing. And to even think deeply into what I went through or put myself through, and had to see and to see where I'm at now is a blessing, because I felt like many times I could have just lost my mind and either um, just went crazy and did some ridiculous things, but I'm here now talking to you guys. But yeah, I'm 34 years old. Next year I'll be 35. I've seen some things. I've seen some stuff. No, I'm not saying I have all the answers, or I'm Mr. Know-It-All, or I am a prophet, or anything like that. I'm not saying anything like that. What I am saying is that I've seen a lot. I've been through a lot. My family, as we was younger, we went through a lot, and it's taught me a lot. A lot of life skills, a lot of personal skills that I feel like our young people, and even people my age, that they don't have, or no one's telling them. Like I said, I have two great parents, my mom and my dad. My mom, I always go to her because I know she's going to tell me straight. She's not going to sugarcoat it. She's not going to she's not going to make it easy for me or anything. She's going to tell me straight, and it's not from her own heart or her own mind. It's always from the Word, from the Bible, or if she doesn't have anything to say, she'll tell me. She'll pray about it. She'll tell me to pray about it, and then when I talk to her again, or if I cross her mind, she'll send me a text and give me a response to whatever I asked her. But yeah, I just feel like no one's being told the truth anymore. No one's holding no one accountable for the things that they're doing and all of that. So basically, this podcast is here to bring awareness to different things that is going on in the community, and different things that we as people are going through. I know I've received a couple messages that wanted me to talk on the fact that the police shootings. I've seen those messages. I think I've responded to a couple of them. I would like to say this. I am going to address that. But I don't know if you're looking, if what I say is going to appease what you're looking for. I don't know if, absolutely, accountability. Mr. Haas. I don't know if me speaking on that subject is going to give you what you're looking for, but I do know that I do plan on speaking on that topic about police officers shooting some unarmed men, and on those grounds. I'm gonna talk about that. But again, I was raised differently, and I see things very different. And I think people need to have a clearer perspective on those topics. I think everyone's vision is so cloudy when we mention black man, white cop. They're already angry. If you hear that little comment, that phrase, you're already feeling some type of way. So I just want you to understand that the people who send me the message, I want you to understand that I see things very differently. But I definitely am going to talk about it. And I mean, to me, in my world, right is right and wrong is wrong. So I hope when I do speak on it that you get something from it, and we become better at looking at a situation like that and not quickly jump into racism, or they keep killing us, or whatever the case may be. But I will be talking about that one day. But anyway, what else is there? I feel like this is just as you see in the title, it's part one. This is just part one. I think I'm gonna break it up into 3 parts, or maybe in 2 more parts. Yeah, 3 parts, 2 to 3 parts or so. And I'm gonna just sporadically, when I don't have anything to talk about on a Wednesday, I'll go back to it. And if you don't like that, let me know, and then I'll just knock it out the park. But I feel like I should just break it up. This is definitely going to be different because my wife said I should be an open book, and that's tough. But I understand that whole concept because if I want you to listen to what I'm saying, then you have to see who I am. You have to see what is making me say the things that I'm saying. What is motivating me to view those points like that. So, we're gonna get into it. Let me see. I will, I will stay genuine and be me. So, it's definitely different. Like I said, I feel like I'm introverted. And this whole podcast thing is you got to be out there. You got to be in front of the camera. You got to be talking to them. You got to talk to a lot of people you don't even know. And you let them into your world so that they may follow you. So this is going to be very different, but I'm all game. And I hope you guys are along with me for this ride. So I'm going to break it up into like three or 2 parts. So let me know if you want it to be just random. I'll just do like a random Wednesday, like bam, we talking about me again. Or do you want it to be next week Wednesday and then the following week until we put the whole picture together? Let me know. Comment here or comment on Twitter or whatever. Just let me know what you're thinking so I can kind of cater the show to you guys. Remember, Fridays are my sports Friday. I do the show on Friday for sports, so make sure you tune in to that. As you see the helmets there, the collection is kind of building. I mean, it's small, but it's building. We got a lot of stuff to talk about on Friday, so make sure you show up Friday. Got the nerves. I don't know. Today was different. Talking about me. Today was different, talking about me. But yeah, it's a lot of stuff, and I just want to give people a perspective of who I am and why they should be listening or take me serious as a person that's speaking on different things that may be happening. So I feel like it was kind of necessary. I don't know if it's totally necessary, but transparency is the key to anything, right? If you're transparent and if people think you're genuine or they believe that you're genuine, they might listen. So that's the key. I don't want to do the fakeness. I don't want to be fake or I don't want people to feel like I'm just saying something just to get a rile out of people. No, I can care less. I like I said, right is right, wrong is wrong, and if I feel like if I feel like it's wrong, or if we know it's wrong, I'm gonna call you out on it. So, that's what the show is. See through it. Any BS, we're gonna see through it. Any nonsense, any fake love, anything that's not right, we're gonna see through it, and we're gonna get to the real point of it. We're gonna get to the bottom of it. So, that'll close out Wednesday. So make sure you let me know what you guys are thinking for this whole little trilogy. Part 1, Part 2 is coming up. I don't know when. You guys let me know. And then we'll go from there. But anyway, as we get back to the contact information to let you guys know where to contact me at, Facebook.com, STI Podcast. Go there and share, like, comment. Give me your thoughts. Join the conversation. Let me know what you would like to hear. Give me a topic. You can shoot me an email. If you have a topic if you don't really want to comment on Facebook or whatever, shoot me an email. Let me know what kind of topic that you want to hear. It could be anything. I'm open to all topics. Everything's on the table. Everything is on the table. So if I'm not knowledgeable in it, I will let you know, and we'll shoot it from the hip or whatever. Or you can come on the show with me and we can discuss it together, and maybe you can educate me on it. You're never too old to not to stop learning. Never too old. So, yeah. So there's the information there. Contact me there. Get in contact me there. Also, my Twitter follow feed is right there. SeeThroughIt1. Follow me on Twitter. A lot of sports talk there. I do a lot of sports talk there. So make sure you follow me there. Before we get up out of here, I just want to give another thank you to all my supporters that's been purchasing, or all my supporters that's been following, watching, that's liked the page. As you see there, my goal is to get to 500 before the end of the year. I think we're 130 some odd away from that. We made that goal back in, I want to say June, August, somewhere around there. But anyway, we're close to that goal. The year's almost over, so please share, like, comment, tell your friends, family members, whoever, co-workers. Tell them about the podcast, and let's get to 500. Again, thank you to Bama Bo. I'm going to just go ahead and go through a list of people that I need to go say thank you to. Bama Bo for coming on and doing a couple shows and having me on her show. If you're a Bama fan or an SEC fan, please follow her show. You can actually, she's on my Facebook page and on the she's been on the podcast page. So you can go back there and watch a couple of the episodes. We did the whole Power 5. We ranked them from Monday through Friday, the weakest to the strongest. So we did a whole episode, a whole series on that. Also her Facebook page, YouTube page, Bama Bo. You can go subscribe there if you like Alabama football or even just talking football. It's fun. It's a great chat room to be involved with. Is some great people in there. So if you like that, go there and support her in that cause. I would also like to thank Mr. Mark Skoll Jr. from WNDU for coming on and doing a couple shows. Mr. Sean Haas, sorry that you didn't get your seat, but I like what you said and what the hard work that you put into your campaign. But one day change will come for South Bend. One day change will come for South Bend. Miss Cassie. Papa, who else? My dad, my mom, let me see, who else? My wife, and everyone else that's been viewing, and everyone else that's been viewing the show and helping with little tips and little pointers. Oh yeah, Rock Dollar, who's been real key and giving me good feedback on things I need to improve on or whatever. Thank you for that. I don't know. It's a lot. But anyway, the show is going to keep growing. I appreciate all your support. Again, don't be blinded by the media. Make sure you see through it. I am your host, Brian Sells. This is the See Through It podcast. I would talk to you guys Friday. We're talking sports. You see the helmets. I'll be back Friday. See you guys then. Have a good night. Peace.